The feeling that science has made God and God hypothesis irrelevant is an outdated myth of the atheists. There are thousands and thousands of brilliant scientists around the world who believe in God Jesus. Because this belief is the most logical thing one can have. One should believe in God because God is the best reason for anything to exist. God is the best explanation for the existence of everything that exists. Only the existence of an infinite and transcendent God as presented in the Bible makes sense as to why anything else must exist as it exists. It is irrational to reject God, because God is the best reason for the origin of the universe. In Isaiah chapter 45 God says, I stretched out the heavens with my hands, and I ordained all their host, for thus says the Lord, who created the heavens, He is the God who formed the earth and made it, He established it and did not create it a waste place, but formed it to be inhabited. I am the Lord, and there is none else. The universe is made up of four essential elements of time, space, matter, and energy. And you should notice that all the four elements had a beginning from nothing. Science has demonstrated that this extremely vast universe, with billions and billions of stars and galaxies, suddenly came into existence in a point smaller than an atom. From that point it all exploded and expanded into the vast universe which we see and live. Logic demands that everything that came into existence must have a sufficient cause. The atheists always miserably fail to give a satisfactory explanation with a sufficient cause. The atheists have no reasonable explanation as to how everything could come into existence from nothing. But by their miraculous and wonderful faith they unfailingly keep acknowledging that everything came into existence from nothing. Some of them have devised theories as to how it could happen, but fail miserably. They will never be able to invalidate the truth that God is the only reasonable explanation for the origin and existence of the universe. One should also believe in God because God is the best answer to the question, why and how mathematics works perfectly. 1 + 1 is 2. But why these mathematical symbols work out perfectly in every place and time. The numbers are the universally accepted mathematical symbols that represent a universally accepted truth about the real world. Mathematics is just obeying the laws of logic and nature. But then the question arises as to why this law should always be true? And who programmed those laws? The atheist can argue that they just exist, and that is how things are, and so on and so forth. But that does not really answer the issue. The truth is that mathematics is the law and language in which God programmed the universe. Thus the only logical reason why mathematics works is because the mind of God designed it so. Moreover, without God no intelligent life can live on Earth or anywhere in the universe. Science has understood that the probability of intelligent life existing anywhere in the universe is about 10 followed by 1038 zeros. This cannot happen by any chance. Every honest scientist will admit that science cannot explain how even simple life began on Earth. The old theories of the primordial soup in which biological chemicals were somehow formed naturally have largely been abandoned long back. Hence some scientists now theorize that life on Earth must have originated somewhere else and was somehow planted here. That is another atheist mythology, which will have to answer the same questions. Hence the only sensible explanation mankind can give for intelligent life is that God exists and He designed it. Again, it is because of God that we have consciousness of who we are. Only humans have the full ability to reflect on their own existence and selfhood. The best reason that we are able to experience consciousness is that God made us in His image. Hence we have the unique abilities to reason and reflect on our life and self. Arguments that we are only the product of a high order of brain evolution do not really explain the metaphysical nature of our minds and consciousness. Moreover, God is the best reason for the existence of the objective moral values. The idea of what is absolutely right and wrong is possible only if an absolute authority decrees it so. The only such absolute authority is the infinite and eternal God who alone can determine what is moral or not. All other ethical bases, such as human reason, utilitarianism, or intuition, and so on will lead to moral relativism and moral anarchy. The issues like legalizing same-sex marriage, premarital and extramarital sexual relations are generally seen as bad, and hence debated in the societies because mankind has a God-given moral sense. Only God can give permanent